Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chine. And last night on YouTube, Queen Shiba Darling did an interview with Martell Holt. And a lot of things had come out and we're just about to get into it. Let's go. First thing she asked him was, is he a millimeter? And Martell said, yes, he's a millimeter and he will forever be a millimeter. Can you? So he said the reason that he's doing this interview is because his PR felt like since Mel had spoken with Queen Shiba, it would be good for him to talk to her and tell his side of the story. He said that he has Maverick with him all the time. She asked him what was his favorite food. He said sloppy joes. He said Mel used to do that for him, make those for him, but now his mother does that. And he also said that he has a Chef Danielle, and she cooks for him now. Okay. So she asked him about his siblings, right? I think I knew that he had a brother, but I didn't know he had a sister. And she was like, why don't we see that? He said he's been talking with production about changing his narrative on the show because he is a gentleman and he's teaching his sons how to be a gentleman. And he said it's just the way it's edited that the show makes him look really bad. Sir, it is not the edits, okay? It's not the edits, it's you. She asked him, is he the type of person that he would marry himself? He said, absolutely. He said, because he's a really good dude. Like, that was his answer. He says that he wants to be married again because, he doesn't enjoy traveling, because he doesn't have anyone to travel with. And she asked him about relations in a relationship. Like, is that very important? He said it's important to who it's important to in the relationship. She asked him, was it important with him and Arionne? And he said he wasn't with Arionne just for relations. He said, I respect Arionne, but you called her a peasant and low class on the show. Okay. So he said in a relationship that he feels like he needs a lead role as a man. She asked him, was he still in love with Mel? He said no. He said, but he was in love with what they had, and he misses being Mel's cheerleader. So I'm going to let y'all take that for what y'all want to take it for. So they got to talking about the court situation. And y'all know how he always said Mel was held in contempt of court. That's why things didn't go her way. Well, Martell said that he was held in contempt of court because the judge had ordered him to go to therapy. Mel and the kids were in therapy. He said no, he didn't see a reason for him to go to therapy, and that's why he didn't get full custody. He didn't get child support, and he didn't get his $28,000 legal fees paid. And I'm going to go on to part two. Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun. I'm back with part two of Martell Holt's interview with Queen Shiba Darling on YouTube. So I left off with saying that Martell was actually the one held in contempt of court. Those are his words. And the reason why is because he did not go to therapy, so he couldn't get his legal fees paid, child support, or get custody. And honestly, I don't believe Martell is going to therapy at all because his mama said he didn't need it, so therefore he feels like he doesn't need it. So in the beginning of it, he said that he and Mel were in a good place. But then on into the interview, he said that he and Mel aren't in a good place, and she held him accountable. She really put his feet to the fire. She was like, you said that you were, but now you're not. He was like, it just would have been a good storyline. But he also wants to be in control because he's like, I don't want Melody going on live talking about me. I don't want Melody doing this, and I don't want Melody doing that. So you have no control over that. Then she asked him, why did he lose trust in Arionne when she disclosed his personal relationship situation with Carson? Martell acted like he didn't know what that girl was talking about. He did say he was disappointed in Arionne, but he said that Carson was an opportunist and she was trying to get on the show, and she will never be on the show, although she was. But he said that Carson made Arionne feel comfortable enough to talk to her. But the thing is, what he didn't answer is, why would you give Arionne that personal information about you and Mel, knowing she could share it with whomever? He said that Arionne made a mistake, and that's all he said. He said the situation has been taken care of. I'm guessing that's why we haven't seen Arionne on live, because he has forbid her to go on live. But he said that Mel should have called him and talked to him about it. And I'm glad Shiba held him to the fire for this, because she was like, that wasn't Mel's responsibility. Like, you should have taken care of that. And he could never answer that question. He said Mel drugged him in that particular live when she was talking about what Carson had said. And she was like, no, she didn't. She just talked about being in a tape. And he asked Shiba, like, how do you know there was a tape? She was like, Mel said it. She asked him, did you film her without her knowing it? And he was silent. Then Shiba asked him, why didn't you reel Arionne in? Why did you allow her to just talk about Mel like that? She referenced the Tasha K interview. And he was like, some people are just strong-willed and they're just going to say what they want to say. But he went on to say that he fought for Arionne to be on the show so she could defend herself because the Core Six talked about her for about 3 years on the show, and he felt it wasn't fair that she couldn't come on and speak her part. He said that. Then he went on to say that the bloggers won't talk to him because of all of this, right? I guess he want to blame that on Mel. But you blocked me. You blocked a lot of people. We'll talk to you. I'm going on to part 3. Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Millie-chan. Part 3 of Martell Holt's interview with Queen Shiba Darling. She asked him about he and Arionne being in Tennessee. There was a picture that's floating around of him, Arionne, and the kids. He said he didn't recall it. Then she asked him, do the kids like Arionne? He was silent for like 7 to 10 seconds. And then he eventually said, yeah, you know, the children are, yes, they get along with her. She asked him, how do you decide who's going to meet your children? And he said something, but then he said, the next person that meets his children will be his wife. So I'm going to take it as if he and Sheree are not together and he's not going to marry Arionne. Shiba asked like the perfect questions, and the way she asked them, because she asked him, are congratulations in order? And he was like, yes, congratulations. Everyone should be congratulated for what they do. Absolutely. Then she said, is there an addition to your family? He was like, you mean another kid? She was like, yes, the word is out that you have another kid. He said no. He said if he had another kid, we would know that. And I kind of believe that. You know, Martell, I want to believe that, because he doesn't like to be embarrassed, which is why I feel like Arionne probably had something done, but that's allegedly. I'm going to move on from that. We can talk about that later. Now, he did say that Maverick was tied to his hip every day and his other kids every 7 days. He says that Martell, Amalani, and Maverick's birthdays are in December, because she asked him, how do you do that with their birthdays being all together like that? He said he didn't answer it. He just said, I get it done. You know, when he's getting ready to lie, we know how he is. She wanted him to clear up what he kept saying was the judge saw it his way, right? And she was like, because what I understood, because I read the paperwork, that the judge made a decision for you and Mel. She made him clean up what he kept saying, like the judge saw it his way. And he said because he didn't want the kids on the show. So that's his way, I guess. But I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to leave you with a little of the video. It's your girl, Millie-chan, and we can talk about this later. Bye, y'all.
Whatever situation it was still referencing Martell Holt. Regardless of what it was still referencing Martell Holt. I mean, it was talking about me, right? The interview, the live.
Give me a specific example, like jog my memory.
The live about Carson.
She confirmed what I heard her say.
No, I'm saying, but wasn't referencing Martell Holt? Of course.
She confirmed that she did do some things in her bedroom. That's what I heard her confirm.